Hello again, gardening friends. It's still Sunday the 26th of October. The rains have abated for a while. It's a little chilly. I probably should have put on a sweater. But as promised, the weather has cleared, so let's go on a quick tour. It's about 12:15, so it's going to be a little noisy in the front yard. You can see my loquats are in bloom, as well as the Encore azaleas. They don't ever bloom quite as well as they do in the spring. However, it is a constant supply of flowers, so that's pretty good. I'm trying to see if there's a way to get up here. More loquats. Well, that's probably as good as we're going to get my way in here. But there is, hopefully you can see the pink flowers of the Sasanqua. It is a beautiful Sasanqua. It will bloom more in the backyard, but since that's in the shade, it blooms later. These buds are exposed to the sun, so they bloom first. I don't remember the name of that. Actually, while we're here, this is a close-up of my tea olive blooms. So really the fragrance, there's no fragrance to the Sasanqua, but the tea olives have a very sweet scent, and the loquat does as well. The tea olives can be quite heavy, or I call it cloying, if they have a lot of blossoms. But so far, I was hearing that we might possibly have some strong winds. I haven't seen them yet today. And that would be fine if we didn't. You can see my fig tree is starting to lose its leaves for the fall. It still has its figs. They might still make. They're not turning black yet. This is an Italian black fig. You can see here they're still green. But they may make it. We're not due to have any frost. And hopefully the cold, oh, there goes that leaf, won't bother them. We'll see. The cassia in the front yard is starting to bloom. Not quite as spectacular as it has in other years, but it's blooming nonetheless. And you can see my gardenias that I replanted are doing well. They're gradually greening up. For some reason, they were very yellow at the store, at the garden center. But I bought them nonetheless because I wanted to replace the gaps. That's the one beauty of a old garden. It's mostly, unless you want to just rip everything out and start from scratch, which I see a lot of people doing on YouTube. I'm not one of them. I've gradually built this garden up through the years. The last thing I want to do is rip it out and start totally new again. I hadn't talked too much about this cactus recently. Of course, you see how it collapsed. It's too heavy for me to lift. I had somebody question as to why it fell, and I kind of know why it fell. You may recall that that mailbox was destroyed, and when we put the new one in, we had to dig out the old stub that was underground, and that cactus had quite a lot of its roots broken off underground. So it'll be perfectly happy here on the ground, and you can see even the fruit is still on it, so it's going to do quite well there. But I'm going to wait till the spring, and I'll trim it up in the spring. That way I'll know what of this is going to bloom. So I think I'm going to just leave it on the ground. I can't physically lift it. It's too heavy. Now perhaps if I cut some of this top off, it'll be lighter. However, this is the way they grow in nature. They tend to flop. So what I will do this spring is I'll cut off some of these lower branches just to get it up off the ground, and I will stick them in the ground so that they root over there. So that's the plan, at least. You can see the Bananas are still doing well. Here's the second Sasanqua. It's the white doves. I think I showed you a blossom of it last week. And you can see it's opening up. Both of them are kind of open right now. The pink is a I guess you'd call that, it's not really a double, it's a anemone, I guess, flowered plant. Still have my red tomatoes. I need to go ahead and pick those. Tomatoes in pots are a pain because you do have to water them every day. And here you can see the paper whites that I stuck in the ground last fall from the ones that I should say this spring I put them in the ground. They were the ones I had in the front porch last winter. And I always plant them in this area. And you can see they're all coming up. There's a clump where I just planted the whole pot. So I will continue to do that. This is the first bloom of this camellia. This is a regular camellia, not a Sasanqua. And it is a beautiful double blossom pink. I have a few more buds left. Nothing on the top, just around the sides. And here, a little beat up from the rains, but here is my angel's trumpets. This is intoxicatingly sweet here at night. You can smell this angel trumpet pretty much anywhere in the backyard. Of course, that is because I have multiples of them. Let me go ahead and lock this door. So far, the hummingbirds have apparently flown away because they haven't really drank from that feeder this week. Ah, and here is Yuletide. Not the best of examples, but this bush is absolutely full of them. This one actually has a scent. If you stick your nose way in there, it has a little peppery scent. Back in here, you can see the mud in the water bowl of Gatto. So he was there last night drinking. Of course, the butterfly gingers are still in blossom. I changed my water fountains and water features out because animals, I don't know what they were, kept muddying them up. I still have my toad lilies blooming. And it looks like I am losing the bark off of my Satsuma, so I will probably cut that Satsuma out and try to find another one. I'd like to find a small Satsuma. I've seen large ones, but the problem with large ones is you need a large hole. And with the old Satsuma roots there, it may be difficult to dig a large hole. Ah, here you can see a Fatsia blossom. That has a peppery scent as well. Back in here, everything's looking green and lush. It's peppering rain a little bit harder, but I think we'll be able to finish. This is the other side of that pink Sasanqua. You really can smell the loquats back here. The loquats are in full bloom. Oh, and you can see the inflorescences on the big palm tree up there. I don't want to hold the phone horizontally because I get water on the lens. Here you can see these angel trumpets are also in full bloom. Here's what I told you before, earlier today, about this pink angel's trumpet. It's got so many blooms on it that has splayed almost flat. What I will have to do is tie them up with some rope and bind them together. Otherwise, they might possibly break. They are going to die back down to the ground. I just don't want them to do that just yet. With the first frost, they'll die back to the ground. Of course, the pinecone gingers are still blooming. And I don't know why. I noticed it earlier this week that my holly looks like it's dried up. So I may be cutting that out. If that one goes, I will more than likely cut the one out on this side as well, just to keep it symmetrical. These cryptomerias are looking fine. I'm thinking what I may plant in this spot here is I may put that queen ginger lily here that I have on the back deck. It might be a spot, it needs shade, and I think underneath this palm tree will be a good spot for it. So I'm thinking I already have that. I may just go ahead and plant that there. Here you can see the fruits are not ripening. They look like little acorns right now, and they're hard. But here's that other big holly. And I don't know if you can see it. You can probably see it over here. If you look really carefully, holly is a very tough wood. Right there is the stub. I used to have a hedge of 8 to 10 foot tall hollies here that I cut down to the ground probably about 10 years ago. And that stump is as hard as a rock still. So they take forever to rot. So I just plant around them. They of course did try to sprout up for a few years. And this white angel's trumpet is doing fine. It has been splaying out, but you can see I've got it staked up. But I have been trimming off the pieces that were leaning out into the walkway. Of course, more of the encore azaleas, autumn carnation, are blooming. Now you can see the yellow of the kumquats, orange I should say, of the kumquats starting to come out. I hear a squawky bird, so that means the cats are out here. Uh-oh, someone was messing with my candle lantern. These are battery operated candles. I have solar lights back here, but in this corner I have solar lanterns because, not solar, I have battery operated lanterns because solar won't work there. It's too shady. I guess let's go up on the deck here. We'll end inside the garage. I'd be careful going up that deck. I have my good shoes on now. The pentas are still doing fine. Still blooming. They attract butterflies, probably moths too. This is green. Oh, we have a flower bud coming on the golden chalice vine. This is the time of the year it blooms. And a bunch of new growth. I need to fertilize that. Nepenthes is looking fine. This is the ginger lily I'm thinking of putting underneath the palm in the backyard there. It's here. It would save me bringing it in for the winter. It is root hardy, so it'll be fine in our environment, supposedly. If you find the right spot for it, which I think that would be the right spot. This papyrus is coming back, even though the kittens destroyed most of it. The desert rose, of course, has lost its leaves for the fall. It will be coming in. I did place an order between the last video and this one. Yesterday I cleaned out my boiling pot. It had gotten real muddy. Some animal went in there and it was thick with dirt and other things, and I used the pump to empty it as far as I could get, and I destroyed the pump. So I had to order a new pump from Lowe's. So I called I did the order on the computer, and I'm going to pick it up later. Said it might take 3 hours to being done. So, but they did call and say it was ready. Have to be real careful here because this can be slick. Okay. And the pot roast is still in the oven. It took forever. It took 4 hours for the meat to get tender. And so the veggies are in it now. and I'll be bringing a portion of that over to a friend later today on my way out to Lowe's. Here all is looking well. I planted more thyme. Rosemary did well. The parsley I have to replant. It's a biennial really here. And I only have a small bit of sage left. I have to buy another sage for my singing garden. Let's go in here. It's a bit of a mess. Actually, some of it's been cleared out. I had been using this area as a dumping ground for ages because I knew I had to work in here. And in any event, I got rid of, gave to a friend. I had a table here, I had a chair here, and I also had a television set. When I replaced that TV in my den, I saved the old one to put out here. But realistically, I'll never watch TV out here, so I got rid of it, moved it on, and so it's ready to be simplified. Let's see, I don't think you're going to be able to see anything, but I'll try to get as much light as I can on the subject. That's about as good as it gets. But there you can see the closet has been painted. So I still have to clean it up. Oh, the little table came for this. The tables are going to go on this wall. And I only have about a foot of clearance when this machine goes in the closet. And I found something at an antique shop for the wall. Just what everyone needs in their clothes closet, or their laundry room. But I found an inexpensive picture. Let me get back here so you can see what it looks like. Not bad. I paid a grand total of $5 whopping bucks for that. The dealer was going out of business, so they had 75% off of everything. I'm sure it's a digital print, but I don't care. For a laundry room closet, it'll be perfect, but it's going to go on that wall, and the little console table is going to go there. I have to admit, I am a little disappointed. My console table came in, and it's in a small flat box about yay big to the it's about 14 inches deep. And when I took a close look at it, it is all in pieces. So even the piece of wood at the top is split in half. However, for my use, sticking it in a laundry closet with stuff on top of it, it will do fine. I'm okay with it. It was inexpensive enough. So in any event, that will be assembled and put in the closet tomorrow. I'll clean up the floor, and that cupboard, the cabinet will be ready to be pushed back. And just to make it idiot-proof, I always like to do things idiot-proof. That's the color I'm going to paint the room. So I'm going to give this to my painter. It is called Wild Flowers, and he'll have it mixed in the paint that he wants. I'm going to try and put this lamp in the closet because it is a dark spot back there. And I do have an outlet back there that I never use. I also got this thing at an antique shop to put some soap powder on, or these are the things that I usually have in that closet. The boxes are what I used to have stacked next to the washing machine for lack of something better. So I've got perfectly good storage boxes. I will fill them up and put them in the house, up in the attic. But that's what I used to use for my storage next to the washing machine. But it'll look much nicer with a little table in there. I started looking for fancy containers for soap liquids. And you can buy them on Amazon. They're clear. But I kept asking myself, they're plastic containers. These are in plastic containers. What's the difference? Why should I pay $20 to $30 for a set of two when maybe I can just take the labels off of one set and it will look just about as nice as a clear plastic container? We'll see. I could always bedazzle them. Oh, there's Peanut saying, "Feed me, feed me." Oh, here is a picture of my apple blossom. What do you call them? Amaryllis. I don't see the flower buds yet. Looks rather dry, but I just water these things. So in any event, there you have it for the day. So I hope you all have a good week, and I hope you all get out in your gardens and get to enjoy them some. I hope to. I'm trying not to think about the roof being done. I'm looking forward to the painting. The roof I know I need it, but I also know there's going to be some damage to my plants, and this is a winter garden, but they will recover, and I need the roof, and I'm excited about getting this room finally together after 10 years. So, yeah, have a good week. Next week, the week after. Yeah, that's still going to be out next week. I'm thinking of what to leave you with. I guess I'll just leave you with a picture out the window here. So until next week, take care. Now I got to go check on my pot roast. It should be ready. Have a good Sunday. Bye-bye.